Close your eyes for a moment. Now picture this. You are standing inside the home you've always desired. There are no bills to worry about. You open your banking app and it reads $11 million, 0 cents. Feel that for a second. Feel the confidence, the ease, the gratitude, not as something you're wishing for, but something you are living now. This is where the secret begins. To manifest $11 million, you must first understand this. You do not chase money. You become the one who already has it. The world responds not to your words, not to your effort, but to your state of being. Ask yourself, if I already had $11 million, how would I feel? How would I walk? How would I speak? What would I no longer worry about? And then become that version of yourself now. Do not beg the universe. Do not plead with God. Creation is finished. Everything you seek is already within the field of possibilities. You simply align yourself with a version of you who has already claimed it. You're not trying to get rich. You are rich now, and the world is catching up to your inner truth. Let your imagination carry you into the scene that implies your desire has been fulfilled. Let that scene replay nightly. Make it more real than your current surroundings. Let it consume you. Let it define you. And do not ask how. The moment you ask how, you admit it's not yet yours. Let the how unfold on its own. Events will conspire, people will move, and things will rearrange themselves, but only after you've claimed the state of the wealthy you. Most people fail because they keep looking at the bank account, they keep reacting to the world. But you have stepped into a deeper truth. You no longer react, you create. Every day, remind yourself, it is already mine. I live in the end. I think from the outcome, not toward it. When doubts arise, return to the scene. Feel it again. Rest in the knowing. $11 million isn't far, it's not even near, it's already yours in consciousness. And that is the only place it must exist before the world can bring it to you. So tonight, go to sleep, not as someone waiting, but as someone already in possession. You are the one who holds the wealth. You are the one who shapes the world. You are the one who assumes the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And the world, obedient as it is, will bend to your inner reality. When you desire $11 million, understand that the true work is not in getting it, but in becoming the version of you who already has it. This is the foundation of true manifestation. It's not about effort in the outer world, but identity in the inner world. You must stop thinking like someone who is trying to become wealthy and start being someone who already is wealthy internally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You first yet to exist internally, mentally, emotionally. You're not chasing the money. You are remembering who you truly are. There is no distance between you and $11 million except the distance created by your assumption that you don't yet have it. As long as you continue to believe it is far from you, you will keep it far. But when you step into the knowing that you already are the millionaire, your reality must eventually mirror that state. Your imagination is the mirror through which you see your truest self. So what does the version of you who owns $11 million do each day? How does that version of you wake up in the morning? What does their self-talk sound like? How does it feel to walk into a room knowing that everything is already taken care of, that abundance is your natural state? You must begin to act from that state of being. This doesn't mean spending recklessly or pretending for others. It means feeling and thinking in alignment with that state. Not someday I'll have it, but this is who I am now. You're not trying to change the world. You're changing how you identify yourself within it. Because once you become the person who has it, the world must reflect that version of you. Do not look at your bank account and let it tell you who you are. It's only showing the evidence of your previous assumptions. From this moment on, your assumption becomes your truth, and that truth overrides what the senses report. Creation is not about hard work or deserving. It's about alignment with the unseen reality already present in your consciousness. And step into that role. Feel the weight of the financial freedom, the calm confidence, the clarity that comes from knowing you are supported in every way. Let that state become your new home. The outer world is a shadow of the inner. You must assume this identity so completely, so naturally, that it feels strange to think otherwise. You are not waiting to become the millionaire. You are not striving to prove you're worthy. You simply decide and you persist in that decision. Every thought, every reaction, every word you speak, let it come from the millionaire version of you. This is not imagination for play. This is the truth beyond the illusion. You are already that version. The money, the lifestyle, the peace, all are byproducts of who you are, not what you get. Become it, assume it, walk in it, and the world will not resist, it will reflect. Imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is the very essence of creation. Everything you see around you, the buildings, the businesses, the technology, the wealth, all began first in someone's imagination. Nothing in this world exists that wasn't first born in the unseen world of thought and vision. When you begin to understand this, you will stop looking at your current reality as permanent, and you will start treating your imagination as the source of your future. Your wealth does not begin in your job, your circumstances, or your background. It begins in your inner world, in the images you consistently hold, in the conversations you silently repeat, and in the emotional tones that fill your being. If you are constantly imagining lack, rehearsing scenarios of worry, and engaging in inner conversations of limitation, then that is the reality you are watering like a seed, and that seed must grow. But if you begin to deliberately sow new seeds, images of financial freedom, conversations where you feel confident and abundant, scenarios where you're living the life you truly desire, then everything begins to change. Because your imagination is not a place to escape reality. It is the workshop where reality is constructed. The outer world is not separate from your inner world. It is simply a reflection of it, projected outward into form. You must persist in imagining the life that matches the wealth you desire, not once, not when it's easy, but over and over until it becomes natural, until it feels real. You must dwell in that state daily, revisiting scenes of financial success, wealth flowing to you effortlessly, and the freedom it brings. These mental images are not fantasy, they are instructions, and your world is obedient to them. Do not wait for proof before you imagine. Imagination is the cause, reality is the effect. Most people reverse this. They want to see the money before they believe in their wealth. But the truth is that the wealth can never appear until it is first assumed within. So you must boldly imagine what the senses cannot yet verify. This is the mark of the Creator. If you were already wealthy, how would your thoughts change? What would your days look like? What decisions would you make? Let that version of life play out in your mind, richly, vividly, consistently. Let your imagination become your dwelling place, not a temporary escape. The more you return to these inner scenes, the more alive they become, and the more real they must become in the world around you. Never underestimate the power of an inner image. One single repeated scene, felt with conviction, has more power than 1,000 actions taken in doubt. So return to your imagination daily. Sit with the feeling of fulfillment. Hear the words of confirmation. See the life that matches the wealth you desire. And then watch as the outer world bends to match the inner world you never abandoned. Living in the end means you no longer strive, chase, or wait. You become. You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and begin to live from that state. This is the secret that separates those who merely hope from those who create. The desire for $11 million is not something to beg for or wish into existence. It's something you claim internally. You don't sit around wanting it. Wanting only creates more wanting. It affirms lack. It says, I don't have this. But when you live in the end, you say, it is already mine. You speak from possession, not desire. You think, move, and feel as though the money has already arrived. And by doing so, you align yourself with that version of you in a parallel reality, the version who holds the wealth, the freedom, and the ease. To live in the end, you must construct scenes in your imagination that imply the money is already yours. Not scenes of receiving it, but scenes of having it, of being the person who has always had it. Maybe you're sitting at your favorite cafe, smiling at your financial advisor as they show you your latest portfolio gains. Maybe you're signing the deed to your new home in cash. Or maybe you're simply walking through life with a lightness, a calm assurance that all is well, because you know you are fully supported. This is not pretending. This is alignment. You're not fooling yourself. You're teaching yourself a new inner reality, and the world will mirror it. When you embody the end result, you bypass doubt. You don't need to know how the 11 million will come. That part is not your responsibility. The moment you fixate on how, you've stepped out of the end and back into the middle, where effort, anxiety, and waiting reside. But when you live in the end, you dwell in peace. You have nothing to prove. You have no urgency. You don't check your bank account in fear because inwardly you already know. You are already the one who possesses great wealth. The feelings of ease, confidence, and joy are your companions. And these emotions are not empty. They are powerful frequencies that magnetize your reality. Living in the end is about faith, but not blind faith. It's experienced faith. You carry the sensation of already being the person you aspire to become. You rehearse it inwardly until it becomes your new default. You don't need to force anything. You simply become so convinced of the inner truth that the outer world has no choice but to respond. Let go of striving. Let go of needing. Instead, dwell in the fulfillment. Fall asleep each night with the knowing that your 11 million is already here. Feel the relief. Hear the congratulations. Taste the freedom. Speak from the end. Think from the end. And the end will unfold effortlessly into your world. The moment you begin to focus on how your desire will come to pass, you step out of the state of the wish fulfilled and back into the state of separation. You shift from being the one who has to the one who hopes. This is the greatest trap in manifestation, the temptation to figure it all out, to control the process, to manage every step. But creation does not work this way. Your job is not to direct the path. Your job is to dwell in the end and trust the unfolding. The how is not your domain. That belongs to the unseen intelligence that governs all creation. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up every day to check its progress. You trust the process. You water it, you keep it in the right environment, and you let it grow. Manifestation is no different. Your assumption is the seed. Your state of being is the soil. But the bridge of incidents, the chain of events that brings your desire into visible form, is none of your concern. Trying to figure out the how means you don't fully believe the what is already done. It means you still think you need to earn it, fight for it, or strategize your way to it. But if you truly believe it's yours, you wouldn't worry about how. You'd simply live your life knowing that everything is already working behind the scenes. Let go of needing to control it. When you try to force the path, you limit the possibilities. You interfere with the divine orchestration that already has the perfect route prepared for you. The way it comes will likely surprise you. It may come through a conversation, a new opportunity, an idea that lights up your mind, but you don't get to decide that. You just need to stay in the state of fulfillment when you're in that state. When you walk, talk, and feel like the person who already has $11 million, the universe moves. People appear, doors open, ideas flow. But it happens naturally, not through effort, but through resonance. The bridge of incidents will unfold gently, perfectly, sometimes invisibly. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you look back and realize how perfectly it all worked out. Do not interrupt the process with doubt. Do not contaminate your faith with fear. Your inner work is to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, to feel it real, to imagine it often, and to rest in the knowing that it is done. No begging, no chasing, no trying to manipulate reality, just presence, just trust. Detach from the need to know. Detach from the urge to control. Instead, fasten your attention to the end result. Live as though it's already yours. Let the how take care of itself. It always does. Beautifully, mysteriously, and better than anything you could have planned. Persistence is the mark of true mastery. It is easy to believe when all seems to be going well, when signs appear, when money flows in, when people confirm your vision. But the real work begins when nothing seems to be happening, when the world shows you the opposite of your desire. Can you still hold the assumption? Can you still live from the end, even in the face of contradiction? The outer world is not the cause of your experience, it is the reflection of your inner state. But reflections take time. Just as a mirror does not change until you move your body, your world will not change until you first move your mind. And once you move it, once you assume the state of the one who already has what they seek, you must remain there. You must persist in that inner state, no matter what the senses say. The mistake most make is checking too soon. They say, I assumed wealth, but my bank account is still the same. They look for confirmation before they hold the faith. But this reverses the law. It says, I'll believe it when I see it. When the truth is, you see it because you believed it. Persistence means you refuse to be shaken. You do not allow your circumstances to dictate your conviction. You do not shift with every wind of doubt or every delay. Instead, you return again and again to the inner knowing. It is already done. This is not denial of what is, it is loyalty to what will be. Every time you persist in your assumption, especially when nothing outside supports it, you deepen the roots of that reality within you. You strengthen the connection to that version of yourself who already has $11 million. And eventually that inner world becomes more real to you than the outer one. At that point, the world has no choice. It must conform. It must rearrange itself to reflect what you've been holding all along. This is not stubbornness. This is spiritual certainty. You don't need to beg or plead. You stand firm in your knowing. You feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. And you do this repeatedly, not to make it happen, but because you know it already has. There will be moments of doubt. There will be moments when fear whispers, it's not working. Ignore them. That is just the old reality fading. It is the echo of a former state trying to pull you back. Let it fade. Let it die. And return to your assumption. See yourself as already wealthy. Feel it. Walk in it, speak from it, every day, every night, when the world is quiet and when it is loud. Keep holding the inner vision, even when the outer scene looks unchanged, because persistence over proof is how you command reality to bend, not through force, but through faith, not through effort, but through identity. You become it within, and then the world must follow. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, and your words are the builders. Every inner conversation you have is a blueprint for what will appear in the outer world. To manifest $11 million, you must speak and think from the place of already being the one who has it. Not from hope, not from lack, not from longing, but from possession. This means your internal dialogue must shift from I want to I have. You must train your mind to no longer beg for what you desire, but to affirm its presence now. Speak to yourself as a person who has already received the 11 million. Say things like, I love the freedom my wealth brings, or it feels so good knowing I am financially secure forever. Even if your senses deny it, your inner speech must remain loyal to the truth you are creating. The key is not to fake it, but to embody it. To become so saturated with the feeling of wealth that your subconscious accepts it as fact. The moment it does, your reality begins to shift. Thoughts, repeated, become beliefs, and beliefs dictate what you perceive, attract, and experience. Start paying attention to how you think and speak about money now. Are you complaining about not having enough? Are you focused on what's missing? These habits are not neutral. They are declarations, and the universe listens. It always echoes back to you what you affirm with your mind and tongue. To change your life, you must change the conversation within. Imagine the version of you who already has $11 million. How would they speak? Would they talk about bills with anxiety? Would they shrink from opportunities? No, they would speak from abundance, from confidence, from certainty. Their words would reflect a deep, settled knowing that everything is taken care of. That is the tone you must adopt, not later, now. Every time you catch yourself speaking or thinking from lack, stop. Replace it. Say, that's not my story anymore. Then speak from the fulfilled state. I am abundant. My wealth grows effortlessly. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. These aren't empty affirmations, they are mental anchors designed to pull you back into the state of fulfillment. Your job is not to obsess over what's in your account today. Your job is to assume the reality of the end. Let your words be congruent with that assumption. Let your thoughts mirror the experience of the one who already has it. That is how you bring the invisible into the visible. You don't wait for reality to catch up before you shift your mindset. You shift your mindset, and reality must catch up. Walk through the world like the $11 million version of you already exists. Because it does. In consciousness, in imagination. And consciousness is the only true reality. Think from it, speak from it, act from it. And soon the world will have no choice but to echo what you've so faithfully claimed within. When you realize that creation begins within, everything changes. You stop chasing and start assuming. You stop hoping and start knowing. The $11 million you seek is not outside of you. It exists in the unseen, waiting for your acceptance. You are not here to figure out how it comes. You are here to live from the end, to embody the state of the one who already possesses it, and to persist in that inner reality until the outer must conform. Imagination is the birthplace of wealth. Your assumptions shape your world. When you no longer look for proof, but speak and think from fulfillment, you align with the truth. You already are what you desire to be. Detach from the process, trust the unseen bridge, and hold unwavering faith. The world bends to those who dare to persist in the unseen. So take this truth and walk in it. Speak like it's done, think like it's done, feel like it's done, because it is. And all things will unfold to confirm what you've already accepted within. Thank you for listening. Stay in the end. It's already yours.